What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Ampleforth Governance Token today. This one is not a request by anybody. This is actually a mistake that I found, but I kind of like the chart, and I've looked into it, and I kind of like the coin too. You know, it's not, to me, anything unique. No offense to anyone who likes Ampleforth or any of the developers or anything that like set it forth. It sounds like what most currencies want to be, set it out. I don't know. Let's see if we go, Ampleforth Governance Token here. You go to ampleforth.org. They're not messing around, man. They got a .org. Screw all your .coms. These guys are .orgs. They're real. The Ampleforth ecosystem is a decentralized finance infrastructure powering innovations in money. Ampleforth develops and supports the use of foundational building blocks for a new digital economy through its unit of account protocol, Ample, its DAO governance protocol, Forth, and that's what we'll be talking about today is Forth, and its upcoming inflation-resistant store of value protocol, which is known as, I think it's Spot. Spot is the name. Ampleforth's mission. Ampleforth's goal is to create a safer, more resilient financial ecosystem. Does it sound familiar? It should, because if it doesn't sound familiar, I'm going to guess you haven't read too many white papers in the crypto space, but to me it doesn't sound too special, but I will be completely fair here. And looking at this again, it says it up here, unit of account protocol Ample, AMPL, and the DAO governance protocol Forth. So what this means, DAO, decentralized autonomous organization, right? It's like I don't know, like the miners for Bitcoin are kind of the ones that govern Bitcoin, right? And there was a split in the miner community for Bitcoin, and that's what gave us Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin. That was the hard fork, right? There was a difference in governance, and that's what would happen with any crypto if there was like a serious conflict between ideas or something like that, I would assume, but maybe not this one. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is that the governance protocol, Forth, this one, what we're talking about, this is the token that you use, or I think the more that you hold is like you have a vote, or like you get to say what goes on. You use these to vote, more or less. Where Ample is the unit of account protocol. So I think like whenever you use the ecosystem itself to like lend or borrow or whatever, Ample might be the thing. But you can buy Ample too. I'm not completely sure of the purpose of Ample. It's Ampleforth. You go here, and what's interesting about it, what I think is very interesting about Ample, is let's see here. Yeah, look, it's lending, borrowing, derivatives, safe asset collaterals. Ample can be used to unlock the following use cases without resilience on centralized custodians: lending and borrowing, derivatives. Governance about the Forth DAO. I don't know. Maybe this is it. Before we get into the TA, guys, I know I'm going over some stuff I don't normally do about Ampleforth protocol. So the unit of account, ERC 20 tokens, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I was reading earlier. The Ampleforth protocol targets the CPI-adjusted 2019 US dollar and automatically expands or contracts the quantity of tokens in user wallets based on price. So think of Ample as similar to Bitcoin, right? Except the number of AMPL tokens in your wallet increases when there's more demand and decreases when there's less demand. Kind of interesting. So like your wallet can change just by that in itself. I don't know how that makes sense. Like if I buy it on an exchange, do I, and I don't know if you can buy this on an exchange actually. AMPL USD, it's on KuCoin, right? It's on KuCoin. Right. Yeah. Yep. But what's interesting about this thing, what I find really interesting about this thing is that let's see here. Hold on. When the price exchange rate Ample is less than 1 of the 2019 USD, the market is indicating there's more supply than demand. In response, Ampleforth protocol automatically proportionally decreases the quantity. Okay, so it's just a basic. The way that it's made is so that if there's less demand, it decreases the supply, right? So is that what it says? Let me just. And while it increases when there's more demand. Yeah, so if there's more demand, to prevent the token from gaining too much value, it increases the supply to bring the value back down. or if there's no demand, it decreases the supply to bring the value back up. Simple fundamentals of economics there, right? Supply and demand. It's very interesting because let's see, what was it that I was reading? It is our view. She made a result for this reason. Ampleforth ecosystem is selected. I forget what it was I was reading. I read something on here. I was going over it earlier, but their aim with Ample is to make it a stable currency. And I know this looks volatile. Don't get me wrong. It definitely is volatile. If you took it from top to bottom, this range from top to bottom here is quite the range. You know, you had quite the drop. But if you look at it like very finely, it doesn't stay at these extremes very long. You know, give it a day or two, it'll come back to normal. It does every time. What's interesting about this one to me is that, you know, there's a lot of cryptos that want to be stable. They want to create stable coins, and these guys have actually done it. I don't know, you know, maybe there's a way to break the code on it, break the system, you know, but it more or less looks pretty stable. Like for crypto, that's a pretty stable chart, right? There's volatility, sure, but I mean, more or less, it's just kind of like where it is now in price. It just kind of hangs out there, which is at $1.14, which makes sense too that it would go up over time, right? Because it's talking about the 2019, the value of the 2019 dollar. So now, in relative to that, you know, as time goes on, if I'm assuming correctly, I don't, you know, I'm more of a chart guy. I'm not so big of a reader. I'm kind of illiterate. No, but to me, what it's saying is like based off the 2019 USD is the value of it in 2019. So as the years go on, the 2019 dollar is worth more than the 2023 dollar is worth more than the 2030 dollar, right? So this thing, it's basically built to literally fight inflation from my opinion. And, you know, it seems to me, since it's been created, that it is doing just that. But we're not talking about Ample. We're talking about Forth, which is their governance token, which, you know, again, this kind of coin, maybe it's a nice safe haven for inflation. You want to have a stable coin instead of putting it in the US dollars, maybe put it in this, right? It'll probably just go up in value over time. But Forth is the one that will probably see some serious price gains, if it were to see price gains. And I do think it does. I definitely do think it does. I think it has a chance to. It came out in 2021 toward the end of the bull market, so, you know, not necessarily the best time to come out, but that's okay. Looking at it, you've got this downtrend. Now we're getting into the meat of it, guys, getting into the TA, the stuff that I am more familiar with. And the reason I found this token, how I found it by accident, going back to how I started this video, I just, you know, sometimes I like to type in things, right? Whatever. I type in FOS, FO, I scroll through, I try to find something, and I don't remember what. Maybe I did Fort, you know, maybe I did that. I don't know. And I saw it on Uniswap here. Yeah, or no, Fort. That's not it. I don't know. Somehow I ended up with Forth, and I looked at it and I was like, huh, I kind of like this chart. It kind of looks good. You've got a serious sell-off after your initial coin offering, and now you're definitely, to me, it looks like you're in a zone of accumulation. Like, this looks better. This thing has, it's kind of almost like Dogecoin to a certain degree, I would say. As far, I wouldn't compare it directly to Dogecoin, but just in the sense that it, you know, it bottomed. It's been a little volatile with this kind of sideways movement since, you know, 2022. Let's go to Doge. I'll show you what I mean. Nope, not USDE. Yeah, on Binance, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, look, like literally similar, right? Kind of similar there at the bottom. I'm not just making that up. And I think Doge is going to do really well, man. I think, and the thing about Doge, if you look back at it, oh man, I gotta go back. If you look at Doge, it's had spectacular rallies. Some of the most spectacular rallies in crypto, back-to-back bull markets, right? Very spectacular. And what has it done before these rallies? It's just had these boring, long stints of accumulation, right? You can just see it. Yes, it's volatile. Yes, there's sizable gains to be made in that time, but the best moves come at the ass end of that, at the ass end of the bull market. And, you know, it's doing the same thing now. And Forth, to me, it just kind of reminds me of this kind of accumulation, right? You had your nice downtrend, and now you're accumulating. I don't know. Maybe that's more of a stretch here, but the eye sees what it wants to see. I don't know. I see this thing as an accumulation zone. And it's definitely, to me, one way or another, looking like a double bottom. Yes, you're having lower highs, which isn't encouraging, but you have double bottoms. Technically, this is a higher low overall. And technically, what you kind of have here is an M of sorts. It's a very ugly looking M. There's the brush. I don't know how that got moved down. Wasn't it up here? I don't know. Can I move it? I can't move it. I guess it's always been there. Okay. But it's kind of like a tilted M, and generally with M's, you see the second leg being longer than the first leg, but the second leg here is not longer than the first leg. It's actually shorter, and that would be considered a failed M. And this thing is such a low cap coin. I was looking up Otter Pops, you guys. It was something dumb, don't worry. It's just something dumb. I was looking up the history of Otter Pops. Because I got in an argument, someone said Freeze Pops are the original, and I'm like, no, it's Otter Pops, bro. And Otter Pops are the original. They came out first. Freeze Pops bought Otter Pops, though, so it's the same thing at the end of the day. Oh yeah, sorry. So what I'm looking for, getting off topic here, is fourth. If you look at it, it is ranked number 552. This thing has a very low market cap. I already know what it is. It's 28 million. I was looking at it earlier. I actually meant to post a video earlier, and it wouldn't post for some reason. They don't want me to talk about it. This is the coin they don't want me to talk about. No, but $28.7 million with a full dilution evaluation of $46 million. So there's still some stuff to dilute, but I looked into this, and it's the reason why is you got a lot of these tokens locked up in the DAO. So like people who participate in the ecosystem will get rewarded in these tokens, whether you're staking or I don't know if there's mining or what, but I think it's staking, but maybe through lending and stuff too. I don't know, but through the DAO, that's where most of this stuff is locked up. And then I don't know, there's some that are locked up that I couldn't figure out why they're locked up as well, but most of what is still locked up, which is less than 6 million coins, it's like close to 4 million coins are locked up for the DAO. So I like that. That's good. That means if you participate in it, you get rewarded. It's not just going to be the guy that made this protocol who's going to like rug pull this thing and just like unload his locked up coins on the market. Maybe. But looking at this thing, it's at a $28 million market cap, $28.7 million, right? If this thing, and bear with me, I mean this, if it were to 1000x, which is totally possible, that would put it at a $28.7 billion market cap, right? A 10x from 28.7 million, 10x would be 287 million. A 100x would be 2.87 billion. A 1000x would be 28.7 billion. And 28.7 billion from 28.7 million is a very high jump to make. It is a very high jump to make, but it's possible. It's possible. If it's possible anywhere, man, it's possible in crypto. And could this happen by the end of this bull market? It could. Is it likely? Maybe not. Maybe not. But at least 100x, if not a several 100x, I think is in store for this thing. Like genuinely, I really do like the chart. I like the way it looks. You got a lot of volume. This is Coinbase too, man. For the governance token, you got a lot of volume on this big wick up here. And basically, if we really look at this thing and kind of dissect it, you are definitely accumulating. I would say so, because anytime you're just moving down, moving sideways, there's no interest in this. Volume comes in and boom, you pump up a little bit. You top off, come back down, and boom, you got some buyers coming in. And just sends it up, it comes down, it's moving up, there's not a whole lot of volume, boom, you get a lot of volume. Like, it's methodically moving its way up. And I know I say a lot of volume, it looks so small like this, that's because the most volume we saw was back here, but man, I think, I don't know, I think that there are big things in store for this is what I'm trying to say. And a 1000x, just to put it in perspective, again, that would be worth $28.7 million. Even if we had full dilution, that would be worth so I said million, I'm sorry, billion. $46 billion for a 1000x. And that's still a lot, but that's an achievable market cap in crypto. It's completely achievable, especially for something in the height of the bull market that's catching a lot of traction, that has a lot of hype, whatever. Seeing use case, has a community, whatever, and I doubt that this thing has a whole lot of use case. Maybe it does, but it's not being used. It doesn't have a big community right now, but maybe it does. I honestly don't know. I've never heard of Ampleforth before. The main reason I'm talking about it again, guys, is because I really like the chart. I think it looks really good. And if it were to 1000x, you could put $100 in this thing, and that could turn into $100,000. That's what a 1000x would be. To put $1,000 into this thing, you'd have $1 million. And I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen. I wouldn't even bet if someone was like, "Would you bet that this happens?" I wouldn't take that bet. I wouldn't take the bet that it doesn't happen either. I don't know. It's got the potential to, but what I'm trying to get at is you wouldn't want to bet the farm on this thing. You can make a decent amount of money with a small portion of your portfolio. Even if you took $10, a 1000x on $10 would be $10,000. So you know what I mean? Like you could bet a very small amount here and see some very intense gains over time. Maybe it doesn't do that. Maybe it only does a 100x. Well, whatever. That's still $1,000 off of $10. That's still really nice. A 100x, just to put it in perspective, would be it would be, where is it? 100x would be right around here. I guess it would be at $301. That would be a 100x, right there. And then a 1000x would be at $3,000. And is that possible? Could we see a number in the $3,000 range? I very much think that is possible by the end of this bull market, even. Maybe, if not by the end of this bull market, maybe by the end of the next one. But I like this thing, man. I definitely like it. There's not a whole lot to go off of on the chart, to be completely fair. There isn't a lot of volume coming in compared to previous times over here. But this to me really does look like accumulation. On the weekly, this RSI just looks magnificent, honestly. Higher lows, you got your higher highs. It looks like you could come down in the meantime, sure, whatever. But this looks overall good. You've got some serious bullish divergence coming off of these lows. And I don't know, man. It's been forming this for quite some time. Looking at the daily, this RSI is also pretty bullish, man. That's just you're in a nice solid uptrend right now, showing strength, rejecting weakness, like just beautiful. And maybe you do go lower. Maybe you do go down from here. I kind of am under the impression that it's bottomed, though, that this double bottom is going to hold up, but it might not. To a certain degree. There is this descending kind of formation. You have your base here. It could be in a descending triangle. It could go lower than these lows. We could see a price below $2, below $1 even. That's totally possible as well. And that's why, very high reward does not merit very high risk. When I'm saying it doesn't merit high risk, I mean like it doesn't merit you risking a lot of money. So, I'm not recommending anybody buy this. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But me personally, I'm kind of interested in this thing. And I would feel completely safe personally putting $100 in and, potentially seeing it turn into $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. Like, that is all possible. I'm not even kidding, man. But I wouldn't want to bet the farm. If I had 10 grand to my name, if I had 100 grand to my name, I wouldn't want to risk more than if I had 10 grand, I probably wouldn't want to risk more than 5%. If I had 100 grand, I probably wouldn't want to risk more than 1%, personally. I think those percentages change to get lower. If maybe you can only save $100 in a month or 2 months. Maybe you can only save that much money. I get it. Times are tough sometimes, and maybe you can't even save that, but whatever the lower amount that you can save, it's not going to hurt you as much, right? It's not going to hurt you to lose $10, $100. You start getting up to $1,000, $10,000. That does hurt most people to lose that. So unless you're dealing with six figures or more, I wouldn't be messing personally with stuff like that. And I am looking to put a little bit of change in this thing, but at the moment I do think it's going to go down. I feel like this has gone over kind of more of speculation versus the TA side of things, but if we want to get into the TA more so, we can see maybe not from this high. I don't know. That could be the high because it didn't open from there. It opened down here and it went all the way up there. We could use that as the high. I don't know. High to low here. Kind of showing respect on this. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe this range here. I kind of like this one a little bit more. Hard to say. Maybe we can look on the daily and see if there's something that's more telling. Let's see here. Beyond the RSI, the RSIs look good on all the time frames. Yeah, man, this is a very constructive looking fib here. Very constructive. It's at $3 now. This thing wants to go. It definitely does. And it could come down. Ooh. I'd be surprised if we broke below 255 again, or maybe I should say, maybe not below it, but we could go below it, but I wouldn't expect a break below it, right? Maybe price goes below it a little bit like it did here, but not a break below it. And honestly, I would more interpretate that we're going to have this higher low structure be maintained. That's kind of my opinion. Volume is building as you're moving up. love to see it, man. Really love to see it, especially coming out of this, or staying even in the zone of accumulation, you know what I mean? So looking at, there's a tool that I use that I don't normally show on here, but everybody, is it anchored volume profile? What's that? Fixed range volume profile. I don't know, something like this here. Yeah, man. Oh, maybe we got to go back further. Yeah, I think that this thing wants to make a move. If it can get above that red line there, which is right at about $3.33, if it can get above there, it's going to want to go to about $8.5 to $13 real quick, probably in that range, really quick. Which, 8.5 to 13, you got a high here, you got a high over here too. You're at the bottom of this range. That would make sense in my opinion. Let me just get maybe more of this. Maybe, yeah, honestly, maybe that range is like 9.5 to 13.33, something like that. I've never seen this one before. What is this? The anchored volume profile. Let's measure that one. Anchored. I don't know. Same kind of range though. Maybe it just knows, it just draws it back from there. I don't know. The line is in the same area too, so I don't know. Maybe that's just what that is. I don't know. That makes it easier. I don't have to click it from one place to another. But anyways, guys, I know this is kind of an unconventional video. It's a little bit less direct and kind of like sporadic all over the place, but everything that I've been saying, I really want to say that I think this coin might have some promise. There's very few coins that are outside of the top 100, top 200 that are going to do well. This might be one of them. And it might not be. It might not be. And that's why you don't bet the farm on these things. That's why huge potential rewards, you only risk a little bit. You start to see some of this come into fruition, right? You start getting above these highs. If this thing goes to $3,000, I promise you, buying up here at $90, you're going to be happy that you did that, right? And if it doesn't go up that high, if it shits the bed from here and goes below $1, you're going to be happy that you didn't, right? So if I was to put money in this thing, which I am planning on doing, I'm going to put a small amount because, again, the rewards are high. And if I want to put more in, I'll probably just DCA in as we're going up. Personally, that would be my because I would feel more comfortable buying at prices that are higher with some more legitimate price action showing that we're going to go higher, versus this kind of accumulation zone that we're in with kind of a flattening base and a descending range down where we could just shit the bed. I would feel more safe going ham up here than I would down here, and that's all part of that risk management stuff. But I don't know. Something to watch for sure. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. I'm happy to throw this one on the map. I hope it ages well, but we will see. I kind of like this thing, man. This is very unique in my experience, man. Because look up XRP. Look up XRP's white paper and tell me that you don't see this the same exact thing where they say that they aim to be a stable currency, right? Let's look at this. This thing is aimed to be a stable currency. It's not a stable coin. That's not what it is. It's a crypto, but it's acts as a stable coin almost. And then XRP, they've aimed to be a stable coin, right? Or like a non-volatile coin. Like in their white paper, it literally says they want to provide like stability, not volatility or whatever, something that can be transacted. Look at how volatile this thing is, man. This isn't like something you can use as cash, right? It's not what it's set out to be, and that's okay. I think XRP is going to go places, man, but it's not what it's set out to be at all. It's not an intermediary for banks to use. Like, what bank is going to use this? You borrow some XRP, and then all of a sudden it shits the bed. You return that XRP back for less than it's worth. Like, I don't know. It just wouldn't make sense to me unless you had some kind of like formula to like combat that. I don't know, but Ample, this is rare, guys. It's very, very rare. And I'm sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent. I don't even know what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to talk about is this. Like, this is very rare in my experience to see a company, or not a company, a protocol, developers make something that they say they want to make it like fight inflation and be a stable asset, that reverts back to its mean. Like, this thing has definitely done that. It's crazy. Like, it's rare to see. So I don't know. If there was one to do it, I kind of have faith that Ampleforth, and then the fourth, in connection to that, the fourth Ampleforth Governance Token would do well, would do very, very well. And again, this thing can do well, but Ampleforth itself doesn't have to go up. In fact, if it does go up in value, the wallets that are holding it on the Ampleforth blockchain, you're going to lose. No. You would gain coins. You would gain coins. I don't know. You would either gain or lose coins. Basically, it would revert it back to the mean, whatever that is. So, anyways, getting off topic here. I just wanted to put this on the map. And yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.